slaying the scourge of the underground castle, and unlocking the power of the Dark Fae.
Got the nearest carrot. You need to start hitting things with it.
All this and more today on Locked On. The first item on our radar today is a small indie game created by the lone dev Leopold Guel over at IndieDB. His game is entitled Necropolis. It's a game based on the Doom-style engine of yesteryear. It's an RPG-style game, hack and slash, from a first-person view completely in the Doom-style universe. However, it's not the Doom that you and I remember. It's actually been completely rewashed and revamped in his own art style. Based in a giant black and white world with hand-drawn enemies and hand-drawn animations for you and your character, you travel throughout the realm in the darkness of the castles, the unforgiving terrain of the forest, and fight all sorts of ghosts and goblins and ghouls. In true RPG fashion, there are 4 classes you can choose from at the start of the game to help you along your journey through the realm of Necropolis. In this hack and slash world of Necropolis, you are allowed to start off with a sword as your default weapon. However, as you go through the vast array of mappage here in this game, you'll find other weapons like magic spells, ranging from a fireball spell to even the Necronomicon itself to help you raise your enemies from the dead, to help you fight for you as you try to survive the long trek in the evil castle, which is in stage 1 of this game. Now, for me, being an old school Doom fan, I have to say this game just screams nostalgia for me. Just turning the game on makes me excited to play it, because I get that tingling in the back of my head that I'm about to go into Doom. But then I open my eyes and I'm surrounded by this brand new world that I'm unfamiliar with. The skill cap of this game is actually pretty high. Because for Doom, you get to sit back, stand in a corner, and just blast your way through the demons and zombie soldiers and whatnot. In Necropolis, you actually have to go toe-to-toe with every creature that comes at you. You have to get in their face, especially until you get any of the spells that are sprayed throughout the game. It feels like a home-brewed, just excellent kind of game. You can tell he's already put a lot of effort in it. He's doing this by himself. As far as I can tell, from far as what I'm read from his IndieDB information, he is developing this game by himself with a combination of the Z-Doom engine and programmed with ACS. So he's doing this as he can, when time allows him, on top of school. So he's really, really trucking by himself in this. And he's given us a game that can really, really scratch that nostalgic itch for a lot of us who love this kind of game. One of the biggest things that have already jumped out to me and made me happy is that the save states automatically load up after you die. Now, I remember playing Doom all the time, and every time you died, you had to physically reload the game. It did it for Doom, and it did it for games like Doom, such as Duke Nukem. You had to reload the game manually. It wouldn't automatically reload. At least the Dooms that I played. Maybe there was a mod that people created to fix it, but I never found it. He made it to where it automatically reloads when you die, because trust me, that's a great thing, because you will die a lot in this game. You could put it on the easiest difficulty and it'll still give you a nice challenge, because you have to get in the face of every creature that comes your way. Really awesome. Now, it being still in a very pre-alpha stage, there's a few things that he just needs to tweak to start keeping this thing on track. Some of the sprites are too small, like the bats. The bats are a little bit too small to where they actually get hidden from your view, and they're just biting your ankle and you can't do anything about it because you have no idea where they are. So he needs just to fix on that a little bit. And for me, there's just a little bit lacking in the healing item department, because once you get hit, you have a nice threshold of HP. But once you get to a point where you're low and you save and you have like 1 hit left, it's really difficult to continue on, because you turn around the corner, you're getting your head smashed in by one of the demons, and it's just a minor thing I know he hasn't planned. I'm just twisting the knob for you, buddy. A couple of things that really got my juices flowing was the chance to play with the Necronomicon. Now, even though I don't believe he's 100% perfected the Necronomicon to the point where the creatures were actually fighting for me, watching them come back to the dead made me excited to know that in future releases of the game, you'll be able to bring your killed enemies back just to wipe out the enemies for the rest of the dungeon and have your own army of the undead to fight at your beck and whim. Made me really excited. You can use your flame spell to literally set the mages and clerics on fire and they start screaming. It made me happy to kindly set them ablaze each and every time. And if you fight one of the fire demons in there and they set you on fire and you die, you scream as well, which is a nice touch. Very nice touch that he added, in my opinion. And the overall atmosphere of the entire game has a really creepy feel. Especially at the beginning of the game, if you decide to try to go explore the forest around the castle instead of going directly in, it will scare the living daylights out of you, because I heard some kind of banshee started chasing me when I attempted to try to explore a little bit for you guys, and needless to say, I hurried up and got into the castle. It was quote-unquote safer in there. If you would like to get your hands on Necropolis and play through the scary little castle that he has going on right now, make sure to go to IndieDB.com and type in the name of his game, Necropolis, and find him on there and send him a private message. He has no problem sending out this alpha game to people who are interested in trying it out, finding bugs, and helping him develop a little bit more. So far, really great game. Looking forward to future releases of it, for I know he's going to keep developing as of how much of a brainchild it probably is for him having your own artwork work for you in a video game. So I'm looking forward to see what he does here in the near future. And now I'm going to toss it over to my boy Mike as he talks to you about another little game called Starleaf. Mike?
Hi everyone, Open Mic Knight here, and I'm going to be talking about Starleaf today. It is a short adventure game created by Spencer Hewlett, in which you play as a little bunny head tasked with beating enemies, with a carrot of course, and befriending cute creatures for items that will help you complete the journey. When I sat down for the half an hour that I did and ultimately play this and beat this adventure game, I had a blast. The dialogue announced by these cute little creatures had me laughing over and over again. Even if most of it was nonsensical and you really couldn't understand it, it still made me laugh. One of my favorite interactions was with a giant elephant who played the guitar. I have to admit, through just looking at the game, I did think it was going to be stupid. But once I got into it, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Also, along with the music stylings of Mushbush, the music in itself is just great for this game. It's only a 2-level adventure game to find the legendary Starleaf. And if you're like me and you like anything that's weird, you're gonna want to play this game. Right now it's available on indiegames.com for free download, so take a look at that. Spencer doesn't have a main site, but he does have a Twitter page where you can contact him. It's a great little game with a ton of charm. I really enjoyed it.
The final game on our radar today comes from a indie company out of Fishers, Indiana, known as Tethys Interactive. It's a small little company actually made up of a husband-wife crew of Mr. Chris and Andy Whiteman. They have been developing a few mobile games for the iOS and Android market, the most recent one hitting the market being Robot Kitten Balloon Assault. That's another game you're going to have to go find out on your own time. For today, we're talking about a game that is near and dear to my heart. It's only been developed for about 6 months now, but it's already showing so much promise. And that game is Astral Terra. Astral Terra is a voxel-based PC sandbox RPG. Try to say that 3 times fast and not get your tongue twisted. It is currently in its pre-alpha stage with only a single player available to be tested right now. It's not even in open alpha right yet. It is in pre-alpha stage currently. We were fortunate enough to be able to get some press releases from Mr. and Mrs. Whiteman to be able to show you this amazing game in its pre-alpha state. It's only been in development for 6 months, and as you can see with the footage behind the voice right now, the game is gorgeous. Some of the coolest things about Astral Terra is it has going to have a really in-depth character development. It'll have levels that you can grow for your character. It has spells that you can use, from healing spells to elemental spells and so forth. You'll be able to do hand-to-hand combat just like in your normal MMO style game. And you'll have roles, apparently. You'll be able to do your tank role or your DPS or your healing role. They give you a list of different spells you can actually test out and play with here in the pre-alpha. The world literally is your playground. You can literally go anywhere and everywhere in this realm and literally turn it into whatever you want. It gives you the power to literally shift and adjust the terrain as you see fit. You can make mountains out of molehills, or you can make deep, dark crevices for you to jump down in and explore. You can use wood to make troughs to put water in, or you can even use stone to make stepping stones and ladders to get down to the depths of what Astral Terra has to offer. You make the world what you want it to be. And to me, with the imagination that I have, once they implement their final pieces of the puzzle of this bad boy, I don't know what other games I'll be playing, to be completely honest. I'll be loving the world I'll be making in Astral Terra. It is literally a looter's paradise. You can go around mining and collecting and crafting your own world, your own weapons, your own armor. It takes the elements of some of our favorite games and puts them into one spot. And that makes me beyond ready to explore exactly the depths of the creativity that the devs will have here in Astral Terra. Some of the best things about the game is how beautiful it is. It's only been in development for 6 months, and the world looks gorgeous, from the trees to the grass to even the lighting just shimmering through the tree branches. It is a pretty, pretty, pretty game. I can't even fathom what it'll look like once it gets closer to open alpha and even beta. So if this is just a scratching of the surface of what we're going to see, it's going to be probably one of the most gorgeous sandbox games we'll have seen in a very long time. Just in the little time that I've got to play it, the world you get put in is huge. The forest is huge. I was fortunate enough not to be able to run into any of the mobs that were in there, because trust me, if I would have ran into some, they would have annihilated me, because all I wanted to do was explore this world that I was put in. It was great. It's just an amazing, amazing game. There is, of course, a few epic learning curves when it came to this game. The controls themselves are still kind of clunky. I have no doubt that that's going to be fixed before the open alpha. Like I said, this is just a pre-alpha game, 6 months in development. I really can't hold anything against this game, considering how far they've come in such a short amount of time. But as of right now, the controls are a little bit clunky, and there's a huge learning curve in terms of controlling the Terra modding and controlling the actual adjustments you can use in the world itself. Personally, I'm looking forward to when they implement an easier way to control the little, I call it, the cubes and spheres of destiny that allow you to move around and actually adjust the world as you want it. And I know that's going to be in the alpha once they're fully ready to release it, but it's just minor tweaks that I can't wait to see happen in the next release of the game. And the best part of it is you get to become a mini god of this realm. You completely control everything that can happen. I mean, I'm closing my eyes and I can imagine you standing upon a hill and you have this just wave of monsters trying to come at you, and you literally just smash the ground open with your terraforming, and they just fall to their deaths in the depths. And it's just, there's so much that you're going to be able to do in this game, and I just cannot wait. If you want to see this game come to its full potential, I highly suggest you go check out their Kickstarter and their GreenLight project over on Steam. A link to both will be in the description below. Please, 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 if you don't help out any other game for the rest of the year, please go help support this game, because this game is going to be an absolutely amazing open-end sandbox style, creativity driven, imagination flooded game. Please go. I've said it a couple of times, but I'll say it one more time. It is currently in pre-alpha. Everything you see on the screen is completely pre-alpha footage. It's going to have lots of things going to be implemented in it as things go on. There's going to be many more features added. There's going to be many more textures added. It's going to be even more beautiful than it already is. Right now, it's simply in pre-alpha alpha. And if you really want to get involved with the development of this game, please go check out their Kickstarter. Go get involved, make a donation, and just help Astral Terra really become the game that it's going to be. And you get to be a part of it. And that'll wrap things up for us today here on Locked On. Make sure you hit the subscribe button above. Make sure you go check out the games that we talked about listed below. And make sure you come back next time for all things indie. I'm your boy Raven, and you are officially Locked On.